Hi, welcome back. So here we are for another summer video, and I am so excited about this series. I like that it brings us to the end of the year. I like that it's some really fun summer-based stuff that we can talk about while we're still in school. And I like that it allows me to provide some guidance for the adults here who are going to be leading the summer activities with their kids. So I just think this is a really great end to our school year. Obviously, not the most ideal end to our school year, but hopefully a great one nonetheless. So today we are talking about a picnic. Specifically, I'm going to talk about a book picnic. However, feel free to interpret this any way you like and to just do a plain old picnic or to go to the most extreme with it or somewhere right in the middle, whatever works for you guys. I want all of these activities to be able to be interpreted for you to the way that fits your needs. So these are just ideas. Today we're talking about a book picnic, like I said. And so what that is just picking your favorite book or a new book that you have maybe, and then packing a picnic lunch and going outside into the great outdoors and reading your book. So ideally, if it's a book you've already read and you enjoy, you might pack a picnic lunch based around the topic of the book. So for example, if I was going to read, what's a really good book? If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. If that was going to be my book for my picnic lunch, I might bring milk, cookies, and maybe, my favorite sandwich or whatever, just to actually fulfill a really nutritious and valuable lunch. But I'm definitely bringing cookies on my if you give a mouse a cookie lunch, and I'm definitely bringing milk because those two foods are very themed to that book. So you can, like I said, you can get really creative with these. You can make special treats that fit your book. And so, as we've talked about many a time, cooking and baking are really, really good for our fine motor, our hand-eye coordination. They're good for our math skills. They're also good for reading if we're cooking from a recipe, and they're really good for making decisions, and we can learn a lot of great things in the kitchen. Just remember to be safe, ask permission before utilizing kitchen appliances, make sure you know how to use them before you use them, and any adults, just really be close by and or right with your children if it's their first time doing something like that in the kitchen. But then also, packing up our picnic lunch can be really good for utilizing that part of our brain that looks at visually the way that things fit into a space, and how we pack. The other part of that is carrying our picnic lunch is really good for strengthening our arms in particular, which we've talked about many a time as being really good for our handwriting. So that is really great. Plus, being outside in the great outdoors is a really good way to start to understand our body more. Are we hot? Is it windy? And the feedback you get from sitting on the ground or on a swing or in a picnic at a picnic table or in a folding chair is different from the feedback you get when you're in the hard dining room chairs or whatever you happen to have inside on the couch, that kind of thing. So that feedback gives our brains different information and can help us learn more about our bodies. So picnics are great. They don't have to be book themed. You can just do a picnic lunch. But I recommend you have a literary summer and keep up with your reading. And so why not make it a book lunch? My question for the adult question portion of this video is, which activities should you be picking for your child? And the key there is listening to some of the things that I talk about as the benefits for these activities, and then thinking about the parts of school that are difficult for your child. You can also consider what you know about your child just from being at home with them, having homeschooled them for a bit, or just their interactions with you and the home environment from before the pandemic, and thinking about what do they struggle with, what's hard for them, and then choosing activities that you've heard mention of underlying skills that are going to lead to that. You also could just pick an activity that sounds really fun to you guys, because we gain a lot from activities that motivate us. So even just participating in the activities that sound fun, that can do a lot for your child, even beyond necessarily those underlying skills. So that is always a good gauge for how to pick activities. If you've heard me mention this is good for handwriting, this is good for cutting, etc., and you know your student has difficulty with handwriting and cutting during the school day, that's a good key that those are good activities for you guys. Or if you guys just really love books and picnics and you think that sounds like a fun way to spend your day, that's a good activity for you. So it's not always necessarily about exactly what you're going to get out of it. Sometimes it's just about having fun. So again, hopefully these parent questions are helping you guys. Hopefully these activities are a good ideas for you guys. And even though we're not providing demonstrations right now, those will be coming later on, and maybe those will help to give you ideas if me just talking you through it is leaving you kind of stumped. And if you really want to try something before the demonstrations come out, please feel free to shoot me an email, get in contact with me, and I will do my best to help you through it. So that is our video for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.